morning, welcome to Families Online. It is great to have you here today. How are you all? Today we have got some Thanksgivings, we've got some worship. Jess is going to bring us the next Bible story, and we are in our series on the nature of God, and we are looking at Moses and the burning bush. We're going to do some prayer, and then the Frosts have brought us the challenge this week. Now, for the challenge, what you will need, and I'll give you a chance to go and see if you've got it, is marshmallows or something sort of squishy marshmallows. Okay, and they are using spaghetti, but I didn't have any spaghetti, so I've got just penne pasta. So some pasta. So you need some sort of sticky things and some soft squidgy things you can poke in, or things to build with. So that's for later on. So you'll have a chance to go and get that in a bit. So a couple of weeks ago, I brought you a verse, and the verse was from Nahum, chapter 1, verse 7, and it's the Lord is good, a refuge in times of trouble, and he cares for those who trust in him. And we're in a funny time, aren't we? How are you all finding lockdown? Because I don't find it very easy. I miss my friends. I miss being able to go out and do things. I think my children miss their friends. I'm not particularly keen on homeschooling. One of mine likes it, one of them doesn't. And I was praying this week, and God gave me a picture that I want to share with you. Now, I've talked to you about God giving pictures, haven't I? And how he can just drop them into your head, and it's like like a picture you can imagine. So if you're thinking about your bedroom in your mind, you can see it, can't you? So God dropped this picture into my head, and it is the picture of how a diamond is formed. Now, this is, it's not a particularly big one, so I don't know whether you'll be able to see it on the screen, but this is a diamond. See, there we go. Maybe your mum has got a diamond, either in their ears or on their finger, maybe. But diamonds are the hardest natural thing on the planet, okay? They are so hard. But do you know that they are made from a lump of coal? A lump of coal. So this is from our bag for the barbecue. Anyone else have barbecues? Probably not in this weather, but anyway, we had quite a few in the summer. And you put the coal on, don't you? And it's just sort of mucky and black, doesn't look very much. But do you know what happens when it's put under lots and lots of pressure and heat? Is that it turns into a diamond. Turns into a diamond. The hardest known natural substance on earth. The most purest, the sharpest. Isn't that amazing? And what God was saying to me about the picture of how diamonds are formed is that it might feel like we are under a lot of pressure and stress and we're struggling. But if we remember that verse, he is a refuge in times of trouble, and he is good, and he cares for us that trust in him. And what he said to me was that he is making me purer. He is refining me, is the Bible's word for it, which is a bit of a complicated word, isn't it? But he's heating me up, and he's making me more like Jesus through this time. So if you're feeling a bit under pressure, just think about God turning you into a diamond, and remember that the Lord is good. He is a refuge in times of trouble, and he cares for those who trust in him. So, with that in mind, I would really love you to pop in the chat what you are thankful for this week. So you've got a few minutes to do this, and go. Well, it's really great to hear some of what you're thankful for and what you've been up to this week. And another way that we can really focus on God is by worshipping God. So I want you to stand up and get ready to sing your hearts out, because we're not at church and so we're allowed to sing. And we're going to have a worship song now. So stand up and sing your heart out as a praise to God.
Who am I that the highest King would welcome me? I was lost, but He brought me in. Oh, His love for me. Oh, His love for me. Whom the Son sets free. Oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. Free at last, He has ransomed me. Oh, His grace runs deep. While I was a slave to sin, Jesus died for me. Yes, He died for me. Whom the Son sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am chosen, not forsaken. I am this, say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am this, say I am chosen, not forsaken. I am this, say I am. You are for me, not against me. I am this, say I am. I am this, say I am. Whom the Son sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. Whom the Son sets free, oh, is free indeed. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am. In my Father's house, there's a place for me. I'm a child of God. Yes, I am.
Well, good morning, guys. Today we are looking at another characteristic of God. We've looked at the fact that God is faithful, that God is a promise maker and a promise keeper, and today we're going to think about the fact that God is holy. So before I read the passage for today, I'd love you to put in the chat, what does holy mean? What do you understand it to mean that God is holy? Pop in the chat anything that you can think of now. Great, so hopefully you've put in the chat lots of great words that describe what it means to be holy. Things like perfect or set apart, without fault, those sorts of things. I'm sure you've got loads of really great words there. But let's bear that in mind, what it means to be holy, as we read our passage for today. And today is the story of Moses and the burning bush. And so you can find it in Exodus chapter 3 if you want to read along. I'm going to read it and just have a listen. So this is what it says. Moses was shepherding the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian. He led the flock to the west end of the wilderness and came to the mountain of God, Horeb. The angel of God appeared to him in flames of fire burning out of the middle of a bush. He looked. The bush was blazing away, but it didn't burn up. Moses said, "What is going on here? I can't believe this. It's amazing. Why doesn't the bush burn up?" I think I'd have a similar question. If you saw a bush burning away but not burning up, it'd be a bit confusing. And God saw that Moses had stopped to look, and he called him from the bush, "Moses, Moses!" And Moses said, "Yes, I'm right here. What are you speaking?" And God said, "Don't come any closer. Remove your sandals from your feet. You're standing on holy ground." There's that word, holy. God is so holy that even though he's appearing to Moses in a burning bush, the ground around that bush is holy, and Moses can't step on it with his sandals. God is holy and set apart, too holy even for us humans to reach. But we see in this story God's solution to being holy is to actually come and meet Moses. And God does the same. He comes down to meet us. So the passage goes on. Then God said, "I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob." But Moses hid his face. He was afraid to look at God. So God tells Moses who he is, not in big fancy words, but by saying, "I'm the God of your descendants." We looked at the story of Abraham a couple of weeks ago. He was one of Moses' descendants. And so God says, "I'm the God of your family, and I'm your God too." But even then, God is so holy, so set apart, so perfect, that Moses can't stand to look at him. He's afraid. He doesn't understand. But God is a God who comes close. And actually, as we read on in the story, Moses at one point does speak to God face to face, and he's not afraid anymore because he knows God close to him. And ultimately, Moses wasn't perfect, and none of us are perfect. And so, because we're not perfect, we can't really be close to a holy God. But God's solution to that is to come close to us, and he sent Jesus to earth to do that. He sent Jesus to die on a cross so that we can be forgiven and be made holy just like God. We're forgiven and we can be with God forever. So we're going to have some questions in the chat now to have a little bit of more of a think about that story of Moses and the fact that God is holy. So engage with this with the people around you, have a chat with your siblings or with your parents, and also pop your answers and your thoughts in the chat. It'd be great to hear your thoughts. So we're going to do that now. Fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts. It's great to have a think about God as holy. And we're going to do some chat and catch now to talk with God and see what it is that he wants to say to us today. So get comfy, maybe close your eyes and put your hands out as a way of saying, I'm ready to catch from you, God. And we're going to pray now. So first of all, let's thank God for the fact that he is holy and perfect. Why don't you tell God something good that happened to you this week? And now tell God something that you might be afraid of or have doubts about, like Moses was afraid. Tell God something that you're afraid of. And now, like God showed that he was with Moses, ask God to show you how he is with you in that situation, in that thing that you're afraid of or have doubts about. And now we're going to say sorry to God. Because when we say sorry to God, he forgives us. Because Jesus died on the cross, we're forgiven for all those things that we do that mean that we turn away from God. So we're going to say sorry to God now for those things that come to mind that have meant that you've turned away from God. And we're going to ask for his forgiveness. So God, we're sorry for the times that we've turned away from you and done things that you wouldn't be happy with, or things that mean that we aren't following you fully. But thank you that when we say sorry, you forgive us. Thank you that you take away the things that we've done wrong and you make us holy. And help us to remember this week that you are a holy God. Amen. So we're going to have our challenge now. Thank you so much for listening. So you should have some spaghetti and some marshmallows or other squishy things. And we're going to hand over to our challenge now.
Today, we're going to be building a tower out of spaghetti and marshmallows in 1 minute. Whoever's tower is the tallest wins.
Ready? Wait for it. Wait for it. Ready, steady, go.
I'm stressed.
Oh, Tilly's building up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Joe.
smart.
Look at Tilly. She's building up. She's not worrying too much about out. Nice.
We're supposed to build on top of this. Okay, I'm going to do another one.
Ten seconds.
No, she's winning.
Go on, Joe. Get a marshmallow at the top.
3,
2, 1.
Stop.
Time's up. Joe, hold your marshmallow back at the top. Hold your marshmallow up.
The marshmallow.
The marshmallow. There you go. Josie, 26 centimetres. Tilly, 25 centimetres, which means Josie is the winner. Josie, you get a marshmallow. Tilly, you get spaghetti.
No.
Thank you so much, The Frost. How did you get on? Did any of you join in with the marshmallows and spaghetti? Let us know in the chat how you got on. Anyway, it's the end of Families Online today. There are resources for under 5s. There is a story and craft suggestions if you go onto the website, and there is Zoom calls for those 5 and over, and the links you should have been sent. So, but do message us if you've got a problem with that. Have a fantastic week. It's been great to see you. Bye.